Welcome my students to class 8 English Honeydew. This is chapter 1, the best Christmas present in the world, and we are doing session 3. In this particular story, we have come to know about a person, Jim McPherson, who is in British Army, and at a war front, what happened? He made friendship with the German army on Christmas 25th, that is 25th December. Both the armies, both the soldiers of the different countries, German and British troops, they were making peace at no man's land. And this wonderful event, Jim McPherson was writing to his wife Connie, and that particular letter is reading who the narrator of the story, who found that letter in a roll top desk that was burned, that was damaged by both fire and water, and he is going through that letter, and so we are knowing about that wonderful event, that wonderful moment. Now let's see what happened in the war front. Dorset, he smiled. Who smiled? Hans Ulf smiled. I know this place. I know it very well. Though he didn't ever go to England, but he knew Dorset. It's a place in England. We shared my rum ration. Now they both have their rum. So ration means they have limited rum. So they shared each other's rum. And his excellent sausage. Who had sauces with them? Germans had sauces with them. So they shared rum ration and excellent sausage, and we talked. Connie, how we talked. Now, he's writing in a letter, he's saying to his wife, first time in my life this thing occurred. I talked to an enemy, Hans Ulf, and the way we talked, I cannot explain how we talked. First time it happened to me, instead of fighting, we are having friendly talk with each other. He spoke almost perfect English, but it turned out that he had never set foot in Dorset. He did never go to Dorset, to my place, but his English was almost perfect. Never even been to England even. He had learned all he knew of England from school and from reading books in English. So he learned who? Hans Ulf. Hans Ulf learned English after reading English books, and in school also he learned about Dorset, that is of England. Not of Dorset, about England. He got the knowledge in school. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book, Far from the Madding Crowd. So out there in no man's land, we talked of Bathsheba and Gabriel Oak and Sergeant Troy and Dorset. So instead of fighting with each other, instead of thinking of how to kill each other, we were talking about Thomas Hardy. We were talking about Bathsheba. We were talking about Gabriel Oak and Sergeant Troy and Dorset. What a wonderful day it was. He had a wife and one son, born just 6 months ago. See, such a small baby he has. Only 6 months ago the baby was born. As I looked about me, there were huddles of khaki and grey everywhere, all over no man's land. See, all were enjoying the Christmas day. All huddles of khaki and grey. Both the army members were enjoying, and they were smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, eating. It was like never happened. So it was a most wonderful moment for him, for Jim McPherson. So he is sharing this event with his wife. So over no man's land, both the troops are smoking, laughing, talking, drinking and eating. Now, Far from the Madding Crowd, this is Thomas Hardy's book, and Huddles, these are the dense and disorderly crowd. Then there was no control, no discipline. See, army people are known for their discipline, But here, as they were very much enjoying each other's company. So it was a disorderly crowd. So that's why it is written huddles of khaki and grey. Hans, Ulf and I shared what was left of your wonderful Christmas cake. Now, Connie must have sent a cake to Jim McPherson and something was left there. So both Hans and Jim shared that wonderful leftover cake. Connie, he thought the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. And now Jim McPherson is informing his wife that the cake that you have prepared with marzipan is very much liked by Hans Ulf, because he is saying it was the best. I agreed. We agreed about everything, and first time they agreed. No, enemies don't agree. That's why they are enemies. Friends agree with each other, but enemies never. But here enemies agreed about everything, and he was my enemy. So this was the surprising element. That's why the title of the story is The Best Christmas Present in the World. There never was a Christmas party like it, Connie. With whom we do parties? With our known ones, with our friends. But here, with enemies, they were partying. So this was a thing that had never happened earlier. And this type of party, both of the troops never had. Now, marzipan, a sweet covering on a cake. This one is marzipan made from sugar, eggs and almonds. Now, then someone, I don't know who, brought out a football. Not only that party, there is something left more interesting than that. A football. Great coats were dumped in piles to make goalposts, and the next thing we knew, it was Tommy against Frizz out in the middle of no man's land. So, how they made piles to make goalposts? With their coats. They have great coats. So, they dumped that in piles to make goalposts, right? Team 1, team A, team B, and the next thing when we knew it was Tommy against Fritz, that a British against German, not for war but for sports. Two teams were playing against each other, not for fighting each other. Hans Ulf and I looked on and cheered, clapping our hands and stamping our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. Because it was a crisp cold, it was very cold and it was dry because it was 25th December. So what they were doing, just to keep out the cold as much as anything, they were cheering, they were clapping their hands and stamping their feet. Right? So in this way, football, the game appeared, that is the football, and together after parting they started playing football. There was a moment when I noticed our breaths mingling in the air between us. They were so close to each other. They were so close that their breaths mingling in the air between them. He saw it too and smiled. Jim McPherson, he said after a while, I think this is how we should resolve this war. Not by killing each other, but by playing football. The winner of the game will be the winner. Is it possible? No, this is not possible. At the war front needs blood, not sweat. So this is the thing. Hans Ulf said, I think this is how we should resolve this war. A football match. No one dies in a football match. Yes, no one dies in a football match. No children are orphaned. No wives become widows. See, if all the solutions are getting from this type of thinking, if the people who are taking decisions, if they can think out of the box instead of killing each other, if the solutions can come out through this, by this means. So nothing is better than that. Because in football match, no children are orphaned, no wives become widows, and no one dies. So resolve means to find a solution to a problem. I prefer cricket, I told him. What Jim said, but I prefer cricket. Then we Tommins could be sure of winning, probably. But if we had an option of playing cricket or football, then we would choose cricket and then we would surely win. We laughed at that and together we watched the game. Actually, both of the Hans, Ulf and Jim were watching the game and other soldiers were playing football match. Sad to say, Koni, Fridge won. Okay, we lost the game 2-1. They made 2 goals and ours was the one. But as Hans Ulf generously said, our goal was wider than theirs, so it wasn't quite fair. So what did he say? Okay, our goal was wider, so it's okay. And their goal was just out of luck. They made it, they won it. So it seemed that it's a friendly talk, so I didn't mind. Now the football match is going. See, khaki and grey coats. Khaki and grey coats, and this is the war front. See, the fence is here, and this is a no man's land. And they all are playing cricket. And who is watching? Soldiers, both of you can say the Hans Ulf or Jim McPherson. The time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished, the snaps and the rum and the sausage had long since run out, and we knew it was all over. Now everything comes to an end always. Every good thing comes to an end. So this moment also ended. And the sausage, I wished Hans well and told him I hoped he would see his family again soon. Now, here is a hoping of seeing family again. Not that I would kill the person, I would kill the enemy and then return back to my land. Here, Jim is wishing Hans would alive and would meet his family again because he has 6 months old baby. Then the fighting would end and we could all go home. The next fighting would end and all could go home safely. Can it happen? No, it doesn't happen. I think that is what every soldier wants on both sides. Let fighting be over. Let's we all go to our home safely. Hans Ulf said, yeah, I think every soldier is thinking the same. Take care, Jim McPherson. I shall never forget this moment, nor you. What Hans is saying, he would never forget the moment, this wonderful moment, and Jim McPherson also. He saluted and walked away from me slowly, unwillingly. I felt. He turned to wave just once and then became one of the hundreds of grey-coated men drifting back towards their trenches. Now everything came to an end. The soldiers went to their respective trenches and they became enemy again. On 25th December, they were friends. They had merrymaking. They played football together. They shared their eatable articles, their rum ration, their sausages, their cakes, everything they shared. And then when everything came to end, they slowly, unwillingly, they went back to their respective trenches. So, what have we learned today? We have learned today about a wonderful event that happened on 25th December. That in no man's land, two troops, two enemies, soldiers of two countries were making peace by playing football, by having friendly talk, by sharing their food articles. And what is the high point of this? If all the problems could be resolved by playing football or cricket, then no one would die, no children would be orphaned, no wives would be a widow. This is the beauty of the story, and this message of peace has been spreaded to us through this beautiful story. So in the next session, I will explain what happened to the next. Till then, enjoy the story. Think about the moral of the story, or the thought that the story is sharing with us. Thank you.